Welcome to the NASCAR GoPro Offline Cup Series here. I am Cetra56. On the pole today is Evan Garnes-Sauers and the number 66 unsponsored Toyota. We're gonna wait here for the command to go racing. And here we go.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the engines are fired here, as we are here at Road America for the Road America Grand Prix. This is a 15-lap race. And as you can see, the front row is the 66 of Evan Garnes-Sauers. On the outside is Keith Batson, the NOS, and the number 88 NOS Energy Ford Fusion. Right in third there is JB Garnes and the other unsponsored Toyota. And on the outside of row 2 is Dylan Ogo and the number 27 Kmart Ford. And before we go green, let me just say that I apologize if I say any names wrong. Just correct me. I will let you know later on. Getting ready to go green here. Here they go up the big hill here on the straightaway. Green flag is out here at Road America, and some drivers are already trying to take advantage of this race. 3 wide it looks like for the lead here. Yes, we are. Dylan Ogo just kind of flopped out there a little bit as we go back through the field here. Keith Batson looks to make this pass over the 66. He is currently doing that, it looks like. And the number 27 is following him. As we're going to do some hard braking here. Is Keith going to get around him? No, the 66 fights back. There's the 67 right in behind him there. Here he comes. He is around him, and he makes a big jump out in front. Keith Batson, now your leader, and the number 88. And we're going to go backwards through the field to the front here. Keith Batson is your leader still. He's opened a huge lead as the 27, it looks like, has gotten around to the 66. The 67 looks to be getting around him as well. As you see, they're now starting to get out a little more single file than before. Here we go, we're going back through a little bit. We're going to look at last week's winner. The 444 of Alan Tanker. Drives the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Ford. This design was done by Checker MC Designs. Thank you very much for doing this. Very nice look. As we are completing lap 1. Keith Batson's still out front. As the 444 trying to get completely around the 69 car. And here's Keith Batson and now Dylan Ogo. And the number 27 Kmart PS3 Ford. We're going to go on board with him. You can see he's way out there. It'll be a while before he can catch up if he can. The only way he can probably do that is by pit stops now, unless of course Batson makes a mistake. Here we are, rear view, Mr. 27, the 66, I believe it was, very close. He's got a lot of pressure here. The 88 of Keith Batson trying to get his lead out a little more every lap, as he's very smooth through these turns. Very good looking design here. You're looking, and right here is the only 2-time winner so far this season. He is currently in 11th in the UFC, number 10 Dodge. That is Brock McMahon. His teammate is somewhere out in front of him, I do believe. Yes, there he is, as you saw that green car. We think we're going to go up to him in a minute. Yes, we are. Here he is. Number 11, Trevor McMahon. His brother, I do believe. And the number 11, WWE D-Generation X Dodge. A lot of Dodges this season, I thought. It was surprising to me how many we had signed up. I was surprised that we had so little of the other brand. Especially Chevy, you would think that they would have a lot of entries. We only have a few of those. We have plenty of Fords and Dodges. As you see, the racing's getting a little tighter back here. Trevor Jackson, it looks like, trying to make a move. Here's Connor Breton and then Johnny Jackknife in the O2 Amp Energy Toyota. Keith Batson all over the lead as he gets closer and closer to getting that win. He has not won this season. He is the only driver to be driving in a 2013 car, and he's probably hoping to be the first 2013 car winner in the GoPro Off-Road Cup Series. As you can see here, we are all over the place. 13 of Trevor Jackson was trying to make a move on the car in front of him, the 67 car, but he was unable to do that. So start looking for pit stops around lap 8 or 9. That's when they should probably be coming in, around the halfway point. Johnny Jackknife was trying to get around the 13, but he had failed to do so, and he drops back. As you saw Ethan Forney back there in the 14 car, he was trying to make a move, or maybe he was being passed. I could not exactly tell. We're going to go backwards to the field a little bit. Here we go, they all are. Dylan Ogo really needs to get up there if he wants to have a chance once we go through pit stops. I think Keith Batson's car is just too good for this race. It's all Ford taking up the front two spots, and 2 Toyotas. And I believe right behind them is another Ford. Yes, that is a Ford of Trevor Jackson. That is your top 5 as we run. This race was recorded by Bandicam. If you were wondering, here's John Garnes in the GoPro Dodge. He is actually planning on changing design a little bit, although he is planning on keeping GoPro as a sponsor. I do believe, though, that he will be changing design by the next race, which will be the one-lap showdown at Joe Gibbs International Raceway. That should be an interesting event. That will definitely be a short race. What we are hoping is that we either have a large crash or a good enough lead change number that we can have a good race there. We're going to go to commercial break here in a little bit as we see Ethan Forney in the 14 Napa Know-How Ford. He is back in 8th. Connor Breton in the 18 here. Dollar General, the C. Breton News Toyota. You should check him out on there, on his YouTube channel. He has lots of good stuff. We're going to go to a commercial break here as we see Keith Batson keep going here in the lead. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to Road America, as we are on the rear view on board with Keith Batson, the current leader still. As you can see the gap back from number 27, Dylan Ogo. what we're really hoping here is that he can, at least Dylan Ogo is hoping, I don't know if anyone else is hoping, but a lot of his supporters are hoping is that he can get up there and get a good finish. Of course, he would be finishing good, but he really wants that win. Keith Batson, keeping it in the lead. He has dominated most of this race. He passed. He and along with a couple others had passed. I think actually it was just him and the 27 Dylan Ogo though. But they passed him on the first lap, and ever since then they have stayed up. I do believe though that if Dylan Ogo would have, they were 3 wide at that start, as you have seen. I do believe that if Dylan Ogo would have kept it 3 wide, he could have gotten up there and had a really good shot at keeping the challenge going. I see Kate Worth in number 3, Monster Energy Family First 5. I'm sorry, Ford. Right in front of him was the number 1 of Christian Cook. We're going back up through the field. Keith Batson, your leader here. He was about to complete lap 5 and enter lap 6. Which means we have 10 laps to go. Expect pit stops in a few laps, as I had said earlier. As you see, this is probably going to be the lengthiest race that we have in the NASCAR GoPro Offline Cup Series. Here's Matt Lee in the number 21 Zest Mountain View Chevrolet. Very nice looking paint scheme there. Right in front of him is the number 74 Dustin Gorham in the Alpine Stars Dodge. He had a good chance at winning a couple times. He almost won a twin ring Martecki, but before he could do that, he had got around the leader. He had got around second place as well as the 66, and then he had passed him. He had gotten past by the 66, who actually went on to win. Here's the 74's teammate Kyle Cobb and the number 71 Mighty Taco Dodge, who won a very close race at Talladega. DJ Kirker right in front of him. He was the points leader earlier on in the season. We are back up to the front. Keith Batson and Dylan Ogo both in that long right-hand turn. Probably one of the trickier parts of this course. Dylan Ogo really needs to keep that run going. If he wants to keep his chances up to catch the 88, he really needs to stay out ahead of the 67. And Dylan seems to be opening up the gap a little bit, but he's not really gaining any on the 88, I don't think. He might be gaining a little bit in the turns, but then he loses it in the front straightaway, it looks like. Big long front straightaway. I like to call it the roller coaster, especially on starts of the race where you go very slowly up the hill, and when you get to the top and you start to go down, then all of a sudden you hammer it. You go full throttle around this course. This is the 44 of Alex Tanker. He was so close to winning at Iowa. As you saw, and pit stops are going to come into big play, as you saw at Iowa with the 44 here. Pit stops will be coming out shortly. The 44 of Alex Tanker have been dominating for a while at Iowa. When he exited the pits, and him and the 38 of Gabriele Valinsky had gotten together, and he had gotten into the 38, who was also exiting the track. The 44 went up and got into the wall. He didn't spin out or anything, so there was no caution. But he had ended up third. And the winner, of course, was Brock McMahon. Keith Batson, as he is getting ready to come up to these final few turns. As we enter the final turn, I do believe, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't the final turn. I always get that confused with what seems to be the final turn as we come to the shady turn, is what I like to call it. Dylan Ogo all over, trying trying to catch up to the 88. He seems to be gaining just a little bit on him. As we should they may be getting pit stops here as Keith Batson goes in first. Looks like everybody else is gonna follow. I'm wondering if anyone else is gonna stay out. That's my big question here. Looks like the 74 is gonna stay out. And so far, the only one to stay out. Oh, the guy, Gavrila Valinsky, Dylan Levin, Kevin National, all stay out. As we see these guys going into the pits. Dustin Gorham really needs a good finish. He's been fighting to get up there. Gavrila Valinsky, as we talked about, who had gotten into the 44 at Iowa. Keith Batson's going to be the first to get out. Dylan Ogo following. Trevor Jackson gets out. Now the two unsponsored cars that have been doing so well this season. And 13 gets out. And it looks like Evan Garnes-Sauers got into the wall a little bit. The big gainer there was definitely the 13 to Trevor Jackson. Evan Garnes-Sauers though made contact with that pit wall. I don't think it's gonna affect him. The only way it's gonna affect him is if he had any damage internally, which I don't think he had. Here's your current leader, Dustin Gorham, followed by the 3 cars that stayed out. Kevin National needing a good finish in Home Depot Toyota. His teammate, the 74's teammate, actually did go in. We'll see later on where he ended up. But the 74 all over the lead now. Although I do not know if he can keep that lead after his pit stop. Then we'll see what happens. Keith Batson back there in 5th. He was the leader last lap. I do believe he'll regain the lead after these pit stops though. As Dustin Gorham enters the pits. And I do believe that the rest will follow. Yes, they do follow. We'll be right back after this, and we'll see who is able to see how well these guys do. See if they can stay up ahead in position. We'll be right back after this. We are back as Dustin Gorham has exited the pits. And he is right behind Johnny Jackknife and the O2 car. We're going to go back to the lead, which is still Keith Batson now. With 7 laps to go. Trevor Jackson, though, had a great pit stop. The 66 car had some incredibly bad luck after that. But he is still in the top 5. And he was your points leader entering this weekend. So I do believe he will keep that point lead. Although I do not know if he can keep that point lead forever. How well he does after this. We're gonna go to a quick we're going to have a quick session of complete signing for the broadcast here, except we're going to have the audio of the cars on still, just allow you to listen to them and listen to their great engines go. As we go back to Keith Batson, your current leader. Keith Batson completes lap 9, enters lap 10. We now have 6 laps to go. Ogo just trying as hard as he can to catch up. He gained a lot of ground after that pit stop, and he looks to be closing the gap even more. So we may have a challenge to the lead on our hands, although I'm not so sure about that. I'm really excited to see if the 27 can get to the lead. He's been working at it all day. I really do not know how big his chances are, though. This Keith Batson has just had a wonderful race car. We're now entering the big shady section of the track. And we're entering big shady turn. We're going to go backwards to the field here, to the front to see where everyone is. Austin Ogo currently last in the Windows Microsoft Ford. He is teammates with Dylan Ogo, who is currently second. Kevin National in the number 20 Home Depot Toyota. He was one of those guys that stayed out. Dylan Lovett was another one that stayed out in the 69 Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Xbox Aflac Ford. And right in front of him, Kate Wirtz in the number 3 Stanley Forest 5 Monster Energy Walmart Ford. As she is trying to get up there. Matt Lee in the number 21 Zest Mountain Dew Chevrolet, winner at Kentucky. And right in front of him, Alan Tanker, who won last week at Talladega. Well, I'm sorry, he did not win last week. He won it. I do not remember it at this point for some reason. Oh yeah, he won at Rockingham, I apologize. And then in front of him was that, and Christian Cook, in the number 1 Phase 1 Chevrolet. He is self-sponsored as he is a musician. The 44 of Alex Tanker is right behind another one of those cars that stayed out and made a late pit stop, which was Gabrielio Valinsky, and number 38 Kodak Mobile 1 Chevrolet Charger. In front of him was the 93 of Ryan James, and the number 93 McDonald's WWE SmackDown Ford. In front of him, Kyle Cobb, winner at Talladega, number 71. He was the actual winner of Talladega. In front of him is Ethan Forney, in the number 14 Napa Auto Parts Ford. Next would be the number 8 of Ian Siegel, and the number 8 PlayStation Undertaker Chevrolet. Right in front of him, the Best Buy Chevrolet DJ Kirker, who was the early points leader of the season. Dustin Gorhan, he ended up in 10th, and his number 74 Alpine Stars Dodge. In front of him, John Garnes in the GoPro Dodge. As we said, he's going to be changing his design. Right in front of him, Johnny Jackknife in the O2. He hasn't had a very much success this season. He's trying to reinstate himself with a top 10 finish. Connor Breton in 7th with the number 18 the C. Breton News Dollar General Toyota. And he has a news program here on YouTube. You should go check him out. He is currently trying to catch up to the car in front of him, which is the number 11 of Tyson McMahon. He is currently ahead of his brother. And number 66 of Garnes-Sauers was probably the big loser on those pit stops after he had gotten to the pit wall and allowed his teammate, who is right here, the 67 of JB Garnes, and the number 13, who's right here, Trevor Jackson. And Trevor Jackson is probably the big gainer of this field. He had a wonderful streak of luck as he got out there and was able to get into 3rd. Dylan Ogo, as you see, is still in 2nd. He has lost a little bit more ground from Keith Batson, your current leader in the number 88 NOS Energy 2013 Ford Fusion. We're coming up to 3 laps to go here very soon. As they are getting up here through the underneath one of the big banners here. And look, for some reason, like from the big banners of the track. It's just something I don't know to do. As he comes up to the straightaway here. We're gonna go to a commercial break here in a minute. And we're gonna come back before the final lap, just so we can see how well this turns out for Keith Batson, see if he can get his first win. So we will be right back after this small break. We're back here with 2 laps to go as Keith Batson continues to dominate this field. He has led every lap except for one. That was Dustin Gorham that led that lap. And that was when he stayed out to lead a little bit, see if he could get a good lead and maybe get a couple extra points. Final lap here. White flag is waving. Brock McMahon, number 10, not having the day you would hope to have. He went from big winner a couple times this season. Now he's way back in 18th. Keith Batson has not really had much success this season. He had a chance to win a couple times this year, but he had not yet been able to do it. And it looks like he is going to get his win today, though we cannot say for sure just yet. As we are coming up to what is soon to be the final lap. Well, I apologize, it is the final lap, but we're coming close to the final few turns at this track. Keith Batson has just been doing a phenomenal job in this race. He took the lead from the 66 and the 27 in the first lap, and now he is prepared to get his first win of the season if he can make it all the way. He could be running low on fuel. You never know. Just depends. We're here at the big shady turn. Now we're exiting. Now we're gonna be coming to the final few turns at this track. We come up to the small. We come up to the big left-hander there. Keith Batson. This season has been not so great, but finally, after so long without a win, he is going to be your winner at Road America. Congratulations, Keith Batson. Followed by Dylan Ogo, Trevor Jackson, JB Garnes, Evan Garnes-Sauers, Tyson McMahon, and then the 18, the 02, the 56, Dustin Gorham there finishing 10th, DJ Kirker in 72 is in 11th, Ethan Forney, Ian Siegel, Kyle Cobb, Ryan James, Gabriel Valinsky, Alex Tanker. Brock McMahon with a disappointing 18th finish for him. He has been second in points. Then Alan Tanker, Christian Cook, Matt Lee, Kate Wirtz, Dylan Lovett, Kevin National, and Austin Ogo. Let's look at our final points. Let's look at the points after this. Evan Garnes-Sauers continues to lead the points, followed by the 10 of Brock McMahon. And then Connor Breton. Keith Batson is in 5th now. As we are here to finish out the time here, Keith Batson is your winner. I am Cetrus56. the creator and runner of the NASCAR GoPro Offline Cup Series, and I thank you for staying here with us. Good night.